Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. So this is this video that should have happened the other day, but with all the drama didn't happen. So coming back last time with the winter warmers collection, and this is the Christmas Carriage, which you've got 4 decent sized toppers here, with the horse and the cart. There's a tree in that one and just the horse in this one. We've got a sending warm wishes from ours to yours, which is lovely. At Christmas time, all roads lead home, season's greeting, relax and enjoy the festive season. That is your plain cardstock, which is gorgeous, and you've also got this one, which is the foiled with the image on as well. You've got your inserts to match, and I've just pulled out a piece of acetate because I'm going to have a little play with that today. Okay, so I'm going to start as usual with a piece by 6 by 12. That's the 300 GSM white cardstock. I get mine from Paper Cuts. If you can't, or you don't have access to a 6 by 12 sort of, or 6 by 6 cards, you might be able to just get some 12 by 12 and just cut it in half on one side, and then you get the 6 by 12 that way. So this one is just going to be a normal card, so I'm just going to score that at the 6 inches and to give that a burnish down. So I'm going to pop this away for a second, and I'm going to grab my trimmer and that acetate, and I'm going to start by cutting this down to, I'm just going to go 1 notch under the 6 because I pretty much want it to be top to toe on this card, but I just want to give myself that little bit of wiggle room, and obviously keep that could come in for a pop-up box, something like that. And then so I'm making a sort of box round it, so I'm putting this card in. So obviously we need 6 by 6, and then I want 1/2 inch for the height and 1/2 inch for a tab on both sides. So by my reckoning, that should be 8 inches. So let's give that a cut, and we will see how we go. I'm going to pop this trimmer away a second. Oops. Try not to smack the lights as I do that. And then if I bring the trimmer back in, and all I'm going to do is just score at 1/2 and 1, and I'm going to do that on the other side as well. So I'm just going to rotate it around, make it easy for myself. Okay, and then I can just form that into position, and you do have to sort of ease it around. It's a plastic, so it doesn't really want to bend. What I'll do is just give that a bit of a burnish, even though we want it to stay quite rigid. And it should all, because we've put those 4 lines in, it should want to go where we want it to go. Let's just do that one a little tighter. There. And what you'll find is you can give it a more forceful crease, but then you'll have to bend it back because it'll over crease. So you know, that's just the way the acetate works. So let me just see if that's going to fit on there quite nicely. It should do, and it does. Okay, so let's go back to our trimmer. Let's get that way around. And so the foiling on this kit is gold. So I'm going to start with my gold matte layer, and I'm going to score this at 2 notches under the 6. Should fit quite nicely onto there, and it does. And then from the cardstock itself, I'm going to be using this printed one, and this piece needs to be 5 3/4. Okay, so I'm just going to check that fits quite nicely on there. It should do, and it does. Okay, so because this is going to go on the outside of my piece, this is going to go on the inside, and that's going to hide my workings. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to stick my acetate down, and I am going to stick it down on both sides, which will complicate things for me in a way, but what I'm going to do is stick that down. I'm going to do all of my decorating, and then I'll use my all-purpose glue and then just pop that along the inside and down, and we'll give it a press down with a ruler. The only other way you can do it is if you can stick it onto the back of the mirror card, but for me, I'm just thinking, because I've come in a little bit with that a mirror card, and because the acetate is to size, it's going to be quite hard for me to get that dead on where I need that to go. So I think if I glue these acetate bits down first of all, I've got my hair there already, and then I'll slide all of my other bits up. I'll do all the working on there, we'll glue it, and then we will pop it down. So I'm going to use red line tape, obviously, because I've just grabbed that out, and actually I'll pop it on. I'm going to pop it onto the back side of here. That's that one, and just give that a good press down. And this, I'm not making this card to squash down, so I'm making this card, so I've done 1/2 inch because I want to be able to fit it rather into one of the Hunkydory boxes, the thinner ones, not the deep one. Okay, so I'm going to pop a little bit of all-purpose on here, because I did see one of the demonstrators saying it does work. So, and then I'm just going to line that up to the edge of my card, and I'm going to pop that down and give it a press. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on this side, and I'm just going for it with this. I'm hoping for the best. A little bit of that all-purpose again, and then this is going, oops, straight. If that would stay still, that might help, onto the edge of my card there. And then, like I say, if you struggle to press that down, just grab yourself a little ruler and you can give that a press down that way. I've got a little bit of a bulge in the middle there, so I'm not quite sure what that is. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get my hand up there. Yeah, I can. Just give it a good press down. And then you can see that's what I've got over the top of my card. So I've got this little frame. There's still plenty of room for this to slide inside. It's going to hide most of my workings, if not all of them. And then we can always give that a press down with a ruler, or as you can see, I did fit my hand in there as well. Okay, let's start with the assembling. So I'm going to use my two normal glues. This is the Clout all-purpose glue, and I'm also going to use the Clout tacky glue in the corners, and I want that one this way up. And then if I go to the toppers, I think I'm going to go with this one here. Sorry if you can hear that. George is in his cage and no, Henry's in his cage, sorry, and George has gone in there and annoyed him. And him and George don't get on at all. Okay, and I'm going to pop this one out, this big sentiment. I think it's pretty much going to go over the whole, the bottom of that. And then the other thing I was coming and on about was whether or not I was going to use this border. So, oops. So let's just pop that one out. Just being super careful because this is a scalpel. There we go. That one out, just in case. Okay, so we've got all of these layers as per usual with this collection. I'm not wanting to pop out, so let's try the scissors this time. I'm just going to go around and release the little tab that's holding it in place. Oh, let's keep going. So that is one of the frames. Now the one I'm not sure about is this middle one. That's the one I wasn't sure whether I wanted to use or not. Okay. So if you wanted to make the acetate to stick on the back of this piece rather than sticking it onto there the way I've done today, what you would need to do is just make that slightly smaller, because obviously this is 2 notches smaller, so you would need to make the first crease at 2 notches under 6, and then 1/2 inch, and then 1/2 inch for the tab, and then you'd be able to stick it on the back. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to use that one, so let's pop that one out of the way. That one's going on the front. The only thing I was thinking about was maybe adding this on to sort of make that a little bit smaller, because it's quite in your face. For such a small card. Okay, so I think I will. Let me just grab a trimmer, go around, and I'm going to just take the end off so it's nice and straight, and then I'm going to take that to 5 3/4, because that's going to go all the way across, and I am going to put that on flat, so it's just part of the background decoration, not the front of it. I'll just grab this. Even though I've snipped them out, these pips are just a little bit proud. And I'm going to use my tacky glue, just because this is going to be the quickest way to pop this down and have it go. And I'm hiding that white line, so I know that that is going to be straight. Okay, so while that's gluing, what I can do is come in with some foam pads, and Henry, I forgot it's bin day today. Well, it's put your bin day, put out your bin day. So there will be, I might get the both of them barking. Apologies. So these are just 1mm Hunkydory foam pads. They are the bigger ones, so I'm just cutting those down. I was watching Hobby Maker this afternoon, and I see they have got some, well, they did have, they probably haven't anymore, the 4mm in the strips, because they launched their decollage, which there are some really beautiful, stunning images on it. I mean, the horse guard one, I don't know if I'm going to get the whole kit. I am torn because there's a couple of them that I do like in there, but I just kind of found that people don't really watch the videos with them. I think they're, you know, because obviously this bit samey, isn't it, really? And it's a lot of watching foam pads go on and can be taken off, which can be not the most interesting of TV. So that is that one, and I haven't got any of the thicker ones, so what I'll do is I will just double these up. So now these are going to be around about a 2mm. I probably have got some, but I put a lot of them away when I started using the Sticks 2 ones, and to stop them getting too sticky, you know, like sometimes, like I say, if it's been out in the open and it's been warm or temperature changes, then they can start to become either very sticky or not stick, depending on the length of time they've been out. So I did put quite a few of them away, so rather than start a new pack, I want to use these older ones up first. And I did get back to the doctor's today. I had a lovely nurse who could see that I was very nervous, and she just talked the whole time she was doing it. She didn't do that thing like I said yesterday where they sometimes put the needle through the cleaning stuff, and actually it was the only, oh, come on, the first one I've ever had where I've not actually felt it at all, so I was really pleased. Okay, so I think we're a little bit over to the left, no, the right, but I think that's going to be fine. And I'm going to put some gems going down that left side, or I could come in with a bit of ribbon instead. We could have a look and see what that looks like. So this one's just going in without that internal piece. So now we've got a nice picture of our horse and cart. Let me just grab a little bit of this red ribbon I have here to the side of me. And that's not very noticeable. Let's try this really scratchy gold one. Yeah, I kind of like that one. So let's just pop a little bit of red liner tape on the bottom. I always get a bit headachy after they've taken blood off me there. So, and it was super hot walking down there. Right, I'll just rest that one there so it doesn't stick where I don't want it to stick. And I'm not going to do a bow or anything. I'm just going to leave that as a decoration. Come on now. don't know why that's still there, didn't want to leave. And then that's going under. So that just going over a tad. Okay, so now we need to just do our gems, because otherwise that's going to be a little bit hard to get on. Because I've put that ribbon on the left side now, I don't need to put any on the left side. I'm just going to put a couple on the right. Let's just pick out a few different sizes. Yeah, I think that one is a different size, yeah. And I'm just going to wipe off my glue. For some reason that's decided to pop up. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on here, and if I grab these, move that over. So I'm just going to let that sit a minute, and while it's doing that, I think what I'll do is just add some red liner tape to the back of here, and there we are. Scissors have disappeared. Just going to put this on flat on the outside of the acetate. I'm not going to have to worry about hiding it because there is quite a shallow distance between, oops, I want to be bending it though. Okay. It's quite a shallow distance, it's only 1/2 inch, so you know, unless somebody's particularly looking for it, they're not really going to see it. Okay, so thinking those have had a little bit of time. So what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to pop a little bit of PVA under my ribbon, just because I find it stops it fraying and escaping. Let me just see what it's like on the other side now. It's gone on a bit of a wonk. Yeah, it stops it, once it's dry it will stop it escaping. And then I'm just using my all-purpose glue, so I'm not worrying about how this is going to stick onto the acetate underneath as such, because it will be held in place by the other pieces. So because it's going to be stuck in the middle of the card, so that's going to hold it in place. Oops, no, we don't want to be moving that. And back towards me a little bit. Okay, ideal scenario would be to just let those sit, and it just needs to go up a tiny wee bit. So I'm just edging it up with my nails, just give me that little bit of a white border on the bottom. And then what we're going to do is just come in, straighten that crease out a little bit, gently without moving those, just so that it doesn't go in on itself quite so much. Okay, now if you wanted to, you could put this on the bottom underneath, but I thought it might look nice just on the outside here. And we're just going to have one go at it because it's the red liner tape, but I think that's going to be okay. Just got a little hair under there. That is my first card. Now I have to be honest, I don't know how this is going to photograph. I've still got another hair in there. Don't know where all these little white hairs are coming from. We haven't got any cats or anything. And I'm grey, not white. So I'm not sure how this is going to take the photograph, but we will hopefully see when it does. Hopefully you'll be able to see a good picture of it. I would recommend just waiting for those gems to stick if you are putting gems on, so you can just give that a really good press down. But you can see it has stuck. It's not going to be going anywhere. And you've got your first card, which is quite nice. I don't think it's going to fit in the smaller box. It's going to have to be the deeper one with that 1/2 inch. You could go a little smaller, go 1/4 inch, and then it would fit in that box. But this one is not, unfortunately. I've just looked at the box size and I know that's going to be too small. So it will be the deep box, 6x6 deep boxes. But I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. So it's going to be just a normal 10th fold card, nothing exciting. And I've just folded a piece of that 6x12 in half. So I'm just bringing in some gold to mat. And as usual, I'm taking those 2 notches off. And you can keep those for little borders if you want to. I'm not going to. I've got quite a few of them already to the side that I haven't used yet. And then I want the foiled cardstock. So this needs to be 5 3/4. Now I don't want that triangle. If I put this on like this, the whole card is pretty much that triangle. So that's not what I want. So I want to reduce that down a bit. So I'm going to take that to, I'm going to take about 1 inch off, I think. I think that should be quite a nice size, yeah. And then I can get that at 5 3/4. And then that should fit quite nicely onto there. And it does. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to put any ribbon on this one because we have got this foil in, and the only place really I could put ribbon, I suppose I could match it there if I wanted to. Shall I match it? Yeah, let's do it, because we can use the red on this one that I did cut that little bit off. Let's have a look. What did I do with it? Nope, it's gone, so let me just pick another little piece. I only need a little piece anyway. Okay, so so this is the last video that I'm doing with this winter warmers. It's winter warmers, isn't it? Yeah, winter warmers. I am going to do a video tomorrow, that way around. And so I'm going to come in with the last kit from this Christmas blockbuster, which I think is it Festive Splendor? It's something like that anyway. Henry. Yeah, so I'll come in with that. That's the one with the beautiful peacock in. So I don't know if I'm going to use the peacock, mind you. Not for the first video, but I did see that it is the one with the peacock in. Okay, so I'm just going to lean that on there. I might have to just go and shut him up in a minute. So we're just going to sort of match that angle a little bit. And there. So again, just that little bit of tacky glue and the all-purpose glue. Turn it around the right way. Make sure I've got my card open in the right way. Now we can pop that onto there. Do press down, and then if we come to the toppers, so I am gonna use this square one, I think. Now it's already been a little bit resistant, so let's just grab these scissors again. This is the only one that's been a bit resistant to coming out of those 3 sets so far. I love this image. Now the Decollage collection is nice, so there is the sort of Royal Guards, that is my favourite topper. So I don't, like I say earlier, I don't know if I'm going to buy the whole set because I quite like the little book and I do like having the inserts, but I definitely know I need more than one of that Guards one, because I think I'd like to send that down to the family down in Taunton, well, Bridgewater. So yeah, I think they would like that. Come on. Now George, you come back, have you? You're winding Henry up. No? George is still not very well. He's got a bit of a poorly tummy. So I'm just going to have a dig. He was on chicken and rice, and then he sort of got better for a day, and even though he was still on chicken and rice, then he sort of went downhill again. We'll go with that bigger sentiment as well. Relax and enjoy festive season. Yeah, so he was bad again yesterday. Going to come over this side, maybe come more over this side, because we go in there and then we can pop something there. We could put a little bow there. Okay, so let's have a little look. So I'm going to have to do a similar thing again as I had before. Yeah, so he's on reduced diet at the moment. Oh, George. He's an old boy, you know, he's 10. Well, he's 11, I think. I lose track. His little Mr. little grey beard. And Henry's only 5. I think he's 6 this year. They detest each other. I think they're both jealous of each other. So they can't be in the same space together, loose. But they've never really liked each other from day one. In fact, George used to have fits when Henry first came to live with us. And I was a bit worried about him, but he couldn't settle. He had to keep his eyes on him all the time, and he's the same like when my sister comes around with the little not pugs. She used to bring her little Frenchies round when they were babies, and he used to be the same with them. He'd be panting and drooling and stressed because he had to keep his eyes on them all the time. He never had a fit again, so that's because they went home. I think if they'd have stayed, he probably would have been as bad. So we know that these twos are they both want to be the only dog in the house. So we won't be able to have the when Henry came, he was our 4th dog. Because there was Poppy, Pippin, and then George, and then Henry. But we was looking yesterday, we were looking at puppies, not because we were going to get one, but just because we were looking. Because Donna's decided that if she gets another dog when, you know, these go, she wants something she can just pick up And then she was thinking about a teacup Yorkie. So we were looking at pictures, which was, but I want another Scotty. 100% sure I want another Scotty. And again, I'm going to double these up. It's probably not going to be for another 5 years yet. 5, 10 years when Henry goes, hopefully. We've got a long time with him. He is a bit of a worry because he's on allergy medicine, which these are slightly different size pads, which can cause cancer. So I'm keeping my mind open about how that might affect him, but I'm just trying to give him the best life he can have, considering his little start in life. He was on a traveller site, or skin and bone, poor little soul. And he had bite marks in his head, so I don't know. They did say they had husky puppies at the same time, so I don't know. Just pop that onto the side and just get one easy one. Yeah, they did say they had husky puppies at the same time, and I think they were competing for the food, because he ate everything he could as soon as when he came here, and then after about 4 days he had to stop because I offered him some egg, and he doesn't like egg. He doesn't like egg at all, but he was determined to eat everything until that point when I gave him egg, and then he wasn't greedy again after that. He does try and hold his resources, he does try and growl over them, and you can't give him a bone because he gets absolutely awful vicious with a bone. Even for me, he'd have my hand off. He has bitten me a few times, but not when he was actually aiming for me, when I was trying to protect George. But that's not been recent. And he does bite hard. I didn't think such a little dog would have a hard bite, but he does. Monster. That is the sorry tale of Henry. He's a good wee boy, really. He still doesn't trust me, even after all these years. I took him to, we thought, because they say about socialising them and that. So when he was a puppy, when I got him registered at the vet, and he just had his injections, which he was not happy about. And I think he was too young. I think he was definitely younger than 6 weeks. I took him to like a puppy party, and he threw up. He was so worried. Bless him. Okay, so I'm not going to put a bow on here. I'm going to leave this as it is, and I'm just going to do my usual 3. Let's see if we can find 3 similar size. Oops. Yeah, seems to be quite a few this size in this pack. That's that one, that one, that one. Okay, and then obviously all that needs now is going to be that insert inside. So let me just put you down a smidge. So that is card number 2. Let me just bring back in card number 1. There we go. And I did just pop that acetate out just by gently stroking along that crease there. and you can see it's now popped out a little bit arched, just a tiny bit, which I think just looks a bit better than the dipping in. But those are the 2 cards from, let's see, what's this one called? You'll see it on the title. Oh, caught my ruler. A Christmas Carriage. So for this one here, I'm probably going to end up doing an off-centre easel, no gatefold, with maybe that one on the front. And then we've got another little card that we can do there, probably a 5x7, because I'm quite liking that size at the moment. But that's it for today. So thank you for watching. Sorry, the first one was a bit hurried through. Hopefully you've got the gist of what I was trying to do, and if not, at least you'll have a little bit of an inspiration on what you can do with that acetate. Doesn't have to be this kit, you can do that with any of them. And like I say, if you've got those deep fill boxes, 6x6 on Hunkydory's site, I think they're 6 for about £6 or $6.95, maybe even cheaper than that as a diamond member. But they're handy to have in anyway, especially if you buy the decollage kits. But like I say, thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with the other kit, which I think is Festive Elegance or something like that. And then we'll get working through the last kit in this Christmas blockbuster even. But until tomorrow, take care of yourselves. Happy crafting. Bye bye.